Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. I have with me Hannah Bear, my daughter, who's headed to bed in just a minute. But since this is an event, where are the people? They're just in the chat right now. This is an event that's so significant. This is kind of a time period that's going to go down in the history of humanity. And so my daughter, Hannah Bear, wanted to say hi for just a minute. So do you want to wave and say hi? And then we're going to send you off to bed. All right? Do you want to? Okay. Have a good night's rest. Do we have a lot to talk about? So I was just doing some research. And hi, everybody. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. This is not my normal, typical show. I think it's a very important one. And I think it's going to go down in history, what's going on right now in humanity, as an exceptionally important, profound time. But if we go back to 1938, and I didn't have the date in front of me. I don't believe I still have that date up. Oh, I do. The world's greatest broadcast. It was on... Let's see if I can scroll here. It's not letting me scroll. In 1938, there was a broadcast on New Jersey radio that produced tremendous panic, and it was October 30th, 1938. So we're talking about 70, 90 years ago, 90 or so years ago, 84 years ago. There was a broadcast on New Jersey radio about Martians invading New Jersey. And a state of emergency was declared. It was Orson Welles' book, War of the Worlds. And if you didn't catch, I believe it was an NBC broadcast, if you didn't catch at the beginning of the broadcast that this was not actually an invasion, you believed that the invasion was real and that New Jersey was being taken over. I believe that has everything to do with what's going on today and the PSYOPs operation or psychological warfare operation that's taking place. And that's a mouthful for a spiritual teacher to say. I have a dear friend, Dr. Stephen Greer. He's the founder of the Disclosure Project. He's the engine behind all of the congressional testimonials, everything that's taken place over the last few years, having to do with disclosure, having to do with the White House, having to do with Congress, having to do with all of the testimonials and people coming forward, is because of Dr. Stephen Greer. We will have him on the show in either the 17th or 27th or 30th of this month. We will have him on live. I've been coordinating with his wife and his team on this one. And so stay tuned. I'll let you know exactly when we know what it is. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share what I'm told and what he is telling is taking place right now on a highest level. I'm not privy to the details. And then I want to go into the energy behind it. So this will not be our typical show. We are going to go not gloom and doom, anything but that. We are going to go to a high level, big picture. What's the energy behind this? What's the shift that we're taking place? But I also want to go into a little bit of the nuts and bolts. And the reason that I'm doing this isn't just that Jessica and I have seen, my wife Jessica and I have seen UFOs or seen UAPs. More likely, they're man-made to look like UFOs. And not only have we had Dr. Stephen Greer on the show many times about this topic, but a couple weeks ago, I had my cousin Mark from New Jersey and his wife Amy and their son Eli. They were down here visiting because he was doing a big triathlon bike race. He's a triathlete like myself. And he spoke to me about the drones going on in New Jersey. And then he sent me videos of these things. And my video, I could show you on the phone. I think you've seen much better videos, so I wouldn't do you justice to do it. Let's see if I can do this. This is just not going to do anybody justice here, but I might as well go for it. There we go. This is. Sounds like a helicopter. That's so not going to do any justice. That doesn't even look good there. The point being that these things are being spotted all over New Jersey, all over New York, other states across the country. I'm very curious as to whether they're being spotted around the world at this time. And after he showed me that, I said, I need to do something. That's why we're having Dr. Stephen Greer on the show. And that's why I'm not an expert at all. I don't proclaim to be one, but I'm going to share with you what little bit I know. And then I've been channeling about this for a very long time, and I channeled about it this past weekend when I thought I was going to be doing another show, and my guides wanted me to talk about this, which was interesting, and then I channeled again before today, because channeling isn't going to tell you, there's going to be this UFO that comes about at this point or that point. It might give you a preponderance of evidence, but what it's going to do is tell you the energy behind anything. That's what we're going to really dive into. All right. Here's what's going on a physical plane, thank you, Libby, as far as I can tell. Dr. Stephen Greer, and he's just releasing a new documentary. It's called Battle for Disclosure, and Aya Bear will put the link to that there. There is a battle for disclosure going on right now. The congressional testimony last year fell flat. People squashed it cold. And they didn't have all the information to come forward at that time to really take things to the next level, because what they needed is people defecting from this transnational, I'm going to call it dark shadow government of the world. Now, I'm not a gloom and doom guy. I'm not even an evil versus good kind of guy. I believe there's good and there's more good. But if we were to call anything evil, it means separation. It means lost. And in this case, there have been trillions of dollars spent, and this is actually something that on our last show with Dr. Stephen Greer, we gave the links where you can actually go and look at the documents. There have been trillions of dollars spent in black ops programs, which have been re-engineering UFOs, or UAPs as they're called. What does this have to do with anything? A few months ago, Dr. Stephen Greer got people, not sure if that's the right term, people came to Dr. Stephen Greer and said, we want to defect from these black ops. We didn't realize they're illegal. We didn't realize what they're doing to people. We didn't realize that this could lead to a huge war situation or worse. And we want to come forward and stop this before people really get hurt. As soon as they came to Dr. Stephen Greer and said, we want to do this, we want to defect, all of a sudden something kicked into motion, and we started to see these drones over New Jersey and elsewhere around the country, and as you're hearing, around the world. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. This is not necessarily a bad deal. I'm looking at the ascendance of humanity. I'm looking at the shift of humanity. I'm looking at the waking up of consciousness. And we can certainly say the welcoming in of the galactic community if we choose it. This is the time where we get to choose. So what Dr. Stephen Greer, he came on the show years ago, and he said, within about 2 years, there's going to be a false flag event. An event like a 9/11, or an event like a Pearl Harbor, or maybe even more akin to a COVID situation, where everything is going to change. The whole world is going to change because of this false flag event, which he believed was going to be man-controlled UFOs. We have reverse-engineered UFOs, unidentified, UAPs at this point, and they're going to be flown around as if we're invaded, so that we get into a state of fear so that we can be more easily controlled. He believed that would take place when he came on the show, I think 3 years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago. He said in 2 years. Last year, he came on the show and he said it's going to be within 1 year. Right now, he's saying within a matter of weeks, specifically because of the defectors coming forward. He says if the defectors come forward and can make it to Congress within the next few weeks, the whole world changes. They've seen the UFOs. They have evidence of the UFOs. They've helped reverse engineer the UFOs. They're going to bring that technology forward to the public. Our understanding of us being alone in the universe, and of these people who have seen UFOs being quacks, or people who have believed in the UFOs being nutcases, will be completely blown out of the water. These people are also, in my understanding, responsible for programs where man-made UFOs have been used to abduct people in a psychological warfare operation to keep us thinking that aliens are bad and that extraterrestrials who come to this planet might create an invasion. We are being set up for a fake invasion scenario if we choose to allow it and believe it. Now, please do not go to a state of panic or fear. Panic or fear is exactly what they want. That's why, do you think if there's a mothership, and that term is being used right now because that triggers us, so psychological warfare. Do you think if there's a mothership, they're going to launch 5 mile per hour drones over our head, the size of Volkswagen Beetles, with lights flashing? No. Do you think if a interplanetary species had come across the galaxy or across the universe here, and they're suddenly going to decide, well, before we take over humanity, we're going to unleash drones that move at very slow speed with blinking lights that use, and there have been ancient technology before we do it? No. This is a deliberate campaign for our minds to be a sleight of hand on 2 levels. Level number 1 of the sleight of hand is so that when these defectors come forward, if they, as Dr. Greer says, if they make it through safely, if they're not killed before they come forward. I can't believe I just said that on a show. I cannot believe I just said that on a show. If they come forward and there's all this other stuff going on, so that their story and their testimony will be back page news. That's one level. The second level is to keep us in a state of fear. Go back to the Nazis. Go back to any authoritarian regime that you want. The way to control the masses is through fear and through a false flag operation. That's what we're being set up for. Now, this could just be a test. If you go back to 1938, Orson Welles, A War of the Worlds, they saw how people in New Jersey reacted. And so certainly the power players right now, and it's not our government, it's not the old administration or a new administration or any administration. This is happening far deep beneath the surface, a trans multinational organization, Black Ops, with unlimited fund that doesn't have to report to anybody is doing this. And they're testing us. Will we come to the light? Will we recognize our power? Will we recognize our strength? Will we recognize the fact that we are creators? What does that mean? Well, you created this event here tonight. You created the ability to have your computer or your phone, your life, your wife, your husband, your whatever you have. You're the creator of that. We never create out of fear. We create out of what is possible, and we create out of love. It is not a coincidence they're using New Jersey at this time. It goes right back to 1938. And certainly we can go to, and this has been re-engineered since this time. This is a process that's been in the works for a very long time. Dr. Stephen Greer talks about it being a 70-year current operation. And almost 50 years ago, he started talking about 30 years ago, he declared there's going to be this false flag event. It's coming. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. But it can be an operation where we go to fear and we get placed under more control. There's martial law. There's who knows what. There's appropriation of funds. I was just watching congressional hearings tonight where they're going, we need more money to study this. We need more money to fight this. We need more money for technology. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Or we can go to a place of you and me as a creator and say, oh no, defectors are coming forward. People are going to come forward. The Black Ops aren't going to work anymore. Because of everybody realizing how important this is for all of humanity, because this is a turning point for humanity. And free energy will suddenly be out there. Technology to reverse and heal the planet will suddenly be out there. Everything that already exists, we know of all this stuff. We know there's free energy. We know there's all this technology. We know that it's been squashed. It will come out there, and as Dr. Stephen Greer says, this can be the turning point to take us to a golden age of humanity. That's where we're at. The potential golden age of humanity. I had Hannah Bear come out here for a second because this is so important. We are being tested. There's no doubt about it. We can't. So here's what happens with me. I go, okay, Dr. Stephen Greer said it'll happen in a couple of years. Maybe he's wrong. Okay, Dr. Stephen Greer said it'll happen in maybe a year. Maybe he's wrong. Dr. Stephen Greer says it may happen in the next few weeks. My cousin just showed me video footage There are all these people and all these spottings. There are thousands of spottings. There's the FBI who said, oh, please tell us if you spot anything. And then they say there's nothing to worry about. Huh? What? What? Something's going on. And we're being played. We're being put in a position to go to a state of not just New Jersey, but a state of fear. We're slowly being dripped the idea of a potential invasion, of a mothership, of, oh, it could be Iran, or it could be ET, or whomever. Either it's being done to see how we react, go back to Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, 1938, or we're being prepared to go to a place of fear so that we can lose even more of our power. Now, this is about as much as I have understanding of on the physical plane before having Dr. Stephen Greer on himself in about 10 days' time, who's going to talk about the evidence, who's going to talk about the witnesses, who's going to talk about what's coming next, who's going to talk about all the defectors, and share much more on this. And if all you want to catch is the physical part, please feel free to join me in 10 days and check out right now, because I don't have more information than what I've told you just now and what I've heard from Dr. Stephen Greer. Now I want to talk with you about the energy behind it. Yeah, Greg Braden is saying 2030. All of the great teachers have been saying somewhere around 2030 or sooner. And what they're talking about is actually not just, see, here's a last thing on this, and then let's get to the energy. We are being watched. We are being watched very carefully. We're not just being watched very carefully. In my own personal experience, and I'm a pretty woo-woo guy, and I do some deep meditations, and I've done shamanic work and all sorts of things, shamanic ceremonies, that is. We are being protected from ourselves at this time. We are being protected from ourselves, from, you can call it a galactic federation, you can call it whatever you want, so that we don't blow ourselves up with the technology they have. They became real interesting, and as you look at the timing of Roswell and things, they became real interested in us once we blew off the bomb. Why? Because it has to do with scalar waves, and has to do with the ripple effect across time and space that affects and can hurt everyone in the universe. Everyone. And so, they became particularly interested, and I'm checking on my sound here, they became particularly interested once we blew off the bomb. They're watching us, they're protecting us, they're doing everything they can for us, but we still have free will. And if the technology is brought forth in the wrong way that makes it look like extraterrestrials who are actually protecting us but got shot down, if it looks like that they have created a dangerous situation, well, then the war machine can ramp up to an entirely new level. And you want to talk about one world, you want to talk about control, they've got us. Conversely, if we recognize what's going on, if we bring love and calmness to the situation, if we call forth people and say, we come in love and we'll give you amnesty, and there is now an amnesty program, I believe, in practice, which is why the defectors are coming forward. If we can offer them safe passage, then what happens is the extraterrestrials by 2030 can come forward and say, not only are we watching you, not only are we trying to protect you, but we want to usher you in to a new level, a new golden age on Earth where humanity is welcomed into the brotherhood or sisterhood, or I don't know what the neutral term is for that, the genderhood, the allhood of the galaxy. And it's happening right. Aaron Wexler says, Bashar, 2026. Yes, it's happening right now. I was going to go with 2025 myself because of the new administration. I certainly wasn't thinking like next week or something. But it's coming fast, and it's being precipitated or preempted, rather, by these dark ops operations. So when people go, yeah, well, the Biden administration, and I'm not a political guy, the Biden administration, why haven't they done anything? They don't know what's going on. The military, why haven't they done anything? At some levels, they don't know what's going on. The FBI doesn't know what's going on. This is deep. This is deep. Dr. Stephen Greer was talking about 99% of all politicians and all leaders out there don't know what's going on. And the other 1% who think they do know about 1/8 to 1/10 of the truth. because this has been hidden. It is literally in documents. I had the link to the documents in our last show, Dr. Stephen Greer. You can Google that. You can find the link to all of the documents as well. You can see the documents of appropriation or misappropriation of funds, trillions of dollars, going back almost since the 1940s for black ops or special operations that do not have to report to anyone. And they've been doing a lot of tinkering since then. So yeah, this can go either way. Now, let's talk about the energy behind it. And sure, I want to give another shout out to Dr. Stephen Greer's documentary. He doesn't know I'm going to be shouting out any of this stuff tonight. The Battle for Disclosure, and Bear can put the link down there as well. We're facing, could be a COVID situation, could be a 9/11, could be far worse now I'm the bright and shiny woohoo guy. I'm also a mystics teacher. I'm also somebody who believes in shadow work, believes diving into the darkness. Oh my God, the darkness is so good, it's so healing. Not as I want to live in the darkness, but it's so good to study the darkness, to look at the darkness, to lean into darkness, to understand the darkness, and understand we are the darkness as well as the light. Which means everything that's going on right now, evolutionary, for the evolution of humanity, can be a hugely positive thing. This can be the most amazing time on earth. There's a reason that every spiritual teacher under the sun says, we chose to come here at this time. We literally got in line. We won the lottery, you could say. We won the giant raffle to come to humanity. Even when we say, oh my God, I don't want to be here. Why am I doing this again? And I understand if you're feeling that way, that means you're an empath. That means you're energetically sensitive. And the energy right now is over the top. And if we focus on that energy, we end up shooting ourselves in the foot or getting hurt or getting hurt or getting sick or getting sick. But that doesn't mean we didn't choose to come here at this time. We chose to come here at this time because humanity is at the crossroads. And I believe humanity has already chosen the most exciting, amazing trajectory. But we are at the crossroads of awakening at an entirely new level. That's what this is about. We see drones in the sky and we hear stories about motherships, and we can certainly go to a place of fear or worse. Or we can say, aha, I get it. This is part of the awakening process. This is part of this bigger picture of what's taking place, of what's taking place in the collective consciousness, in the zeitgeist, in the awakening and awareness of all of humanity. That's what's going on right now on an energetic level. Now, in the thumbnail for the show, I think we have hidden in plain sight, or something like that might be the title. What's being hidden from you? Let's talk about that, because that gets to the energy. For us to go from a 3D, from a very heavy reality, to what many call a 5D reality. I love to joke about it. Third dimension, fifth dimension, 3D, 5D, and I say 7D Mongo. Philippines, dear friends, have a company that sells mangoes to Costco, a company called 7D. We can label it what we want. Humanity is energetically shifting. We are shifting out of I am just this physical meat suit to I am not just a meat suit with consciousness. I am consciousness itself. I am the energy that's housed in the meat suit. I am a divine, immortal creator being. Fractal holographic representation of the whole. We can call that of God, of source, of universe, of love, of light. I can enjoy giant cheeseburger in the sky, vegan cheeseburger, whatever we want. That's what you are. You are a fractal holographic representation in energetic form, purporting to be having a human experience. But that is not what you are. You are, we'll use the words of Spock here, pure energy. I love that song, Pure Energy. That is who and what you are. Until and unless you think of yourself in a state of fear. Now, my team knows me very well, the dream team here. We've got Bear, we've got Ann Bear, we've got Joyce in the house, we've got Bobek, we've got so many of our dream team members. I love you guys. And they know one thing. If I go to a state of fear and check my pulse, yep, just as human as the rest of us, if I go to a place of fear, I'm useless. I can't think at all. I am not my shiny, energetic self. And I'm not just even my human self. I'm very controllable. I'm very malleable. I want to hide under the table. I want to ostrich up. I don't want to face reality, whatever that means. What's happening right now is to keep us in a state of fear so that we don't remember that we're energetic beings having an energetic experience. We don't remember that while this world is very important, it is not the only world. In fact, we could call it world with a small w, where there is a greater world with a large W. This is just a testing grounds, a playing field, an educational pit stop to help us in our larger dimensional growth. It's hugely important. Earth is where it's going on. Earth is the school that everybody lines up to be at right now. I am now finally once and for all convinced of this. And at the same time, while everything matters here energetically and matters exquisitely, we get too wrapped up in the story and we forget who and what we are. It's kind of the amnesic veil. What does the veil mean? It means that when you came here, you chose to have the shroud put over you to forget that you're divine, meaning you're a part of the creator, you're a part of the everything. To forget that you're immortal. Because if you realized you have lifetime after lifetime to play the game, get it right, do what you want, you wouldn't take things so seriously and you'd be able to live at a much higher level. You chose to have this veil, at least temporarily, so that you could learn more. Because you learn more at this level of humanity through hardship. And in essence, what's being done is, as we're waking up, as we're coming back into our true power, understanding we are divine energetic beings, that we have lifetime after lifetime, that this isn't all there is, which sets us free to live, to create, to be, to dance, to sing at a higher level. We're seeing the drones moving slowly across the sky, and it's sort of like, well, I was at fast food store because Hannah Bear needed food last night after we were at a town hall meeting. And I was playing with her and I put the paper bag over my head. Just down to my ears. But the paper bag over your head is what's being done with the drones up above us to keep us from remembering and recognizing our true power. And this, my friends, is a time period where we're stepping back in our power. Not a little. Not metaphorically, not even metaphysically. Energetically, at the highest level, you're recognizing your power. You're stepping into your power. You're creating with your power. The veil is thinning. You can see the other side. You can see the greatness of who and what you are. You can see that you're much more than 3 dimensions. You can see that you're much greater than this heavier density. You are so much more. And we come into our power as individuals, and we come into our power as a collective. Now, this is also a very, very, shall I say, scary, I'll put that in quotes, time period, because systems are crumbling. They have to energetically to make way for the new. If your car stayed perfect, and don't get me started on planned obsolescence. Please don't get me started on that. Or on old school energetic systems, because that has everything to do with what's going on with the drones right now. I wanted to call them droids. You get what I'm saying? If your car was perfect like new every single day for the rest of your lives, you wouldn't need a new car. It might get a little bit boring. I don't like that word very much because things happen when you use the B word, cancel, clear, release. But you wouldn't need a new vehicle. Instead, it falls apart on you. That's what's happening. That's what's happening at a societal level, corporate level, international level, country level, every level. Systems are falling apart, even healthcare falling apart. So something new can be invented at a higher level. Now, governments know this is coming. They're trying to take action to maintain their power and maintain the status quo. Corporations know this is going on. That's why they're throwing every trick under the sun to keep you in a brainwashed state, to keep you in a buy state of beinghood. Because if you stop buying, they go bye. So corporations know this. Those in power know this. They'll do everything they can to stop you from getting back in your power. Here's the trick. Yes, kitty power. Love it. No fear. Here's the trick. You can feel it. You can smell it in the air. the scent of change. You can feel it as you go outside. First off, what you feel is this is completely unsustainable. And then you feel this is pure madness. And then what you feel is, wow, things are going to change. Why? Because when you put your feet on the streets, what you feel is, and certainly if you're in New Jersey, you can put your head up to the skies, you can feel something's wrong. Something's flat wrong. Not something bad, but something is amiss. Something's out of alignment or out of attunement. It's the reason I do School of Mystics 4 Wednesdays each month. And what I do, tomorrow night, most powerful clearing. Oh my God, are we clearing away fear tomorrow night in the School of Mystics? Because we all get fear that we get to be released. And I was gifted with the ability, I don't usually say it that way, but I'll go with it. I was gifted with the ability of being able to take massive groups and clear fear off of you. And we're going to be doing that tomorrow night. I'll have Aya Bear put the link down there if you want to come join us. We can feel something is wrong. We can feel something is missed. We can feel that we're out of vibrational alignment. And we can feel desperately that something needs to be changed and changed fast. That's what this time period is about. This time period is about great change. You see the drones in the sky. Sarah was asking, where are the drones? They're in New Jersey. They're in the Northeast. They're in Missouri. I've heard they're on the West Coast as well. They're in Florida. Hello, I'm in Florida. More and more places are having the drones. It'll be interesting to see what this next stage is, if it goes quiet for a while or if it gets really crazy. I think it could go either way. I think it depends on where we place our hearts. But this time period is one of a massive acceleration. Why? Humanity is appearing to drive toward the cliff as fast as she can. Not so she goes off the cliff and hits the ground down below, but so that she can generate, the 1.1 gigawatts and the 80 miles an hour, 88 miles an hour. Thank you, Doc Brown and Back to the Future, so that we can get liftoff or takeoff to the next level. So humanity is changing and changing fast. This is where not only do we feel something's amiss, we feel something's off, but we have these little supercomputers in our hands. I was thinking about this earlier today. Do you have any idea how special this thing is that you have in your hands? Do you have any idea? The amount of tech in one, square millimeter of this thing is more technology than they had probably on the entire lunar lander, lunar module that supposedly went to the moon or of a space shuttle. This thing is crazy amazing, and it has connected us at a level where not only do we think things fast, but our connection to others is near instantaneous, almost at the speed of light across the entire planet. Our thoughts are projected across the planet almost at the speed of light. So to me, it's really interesting. Yes, I like to say interesting. Interesting. That drones are being used in a psych ops or psychological warfare operation against us. That's what psych ops means. It's used by CIA, FBI. I took a course on arms control years ago, and they called it HUMINTs, human intelligence, used by the human intelligence organizations to use our minds against ourselves. And so they show us drones to show us something incredibly slow. Because if they showed all of these spacecraft in the sky, that's going to trigger us at a whole new level, and we may not be controllable. Thoughts are moving fast these days. So somebody just said, I'm confused. Are not drones just gadgets that anyone can buy and use? Not the drones we're seeing in the sky at night. If you haven't followed the news right now, and it doesn't have to be on news, it can be on social media, it can be on your cousin texting you. There are what appear to be drones, hundreds or thousands of them, over New Jersey. There's anywhere from dozens to hundreds of reports a day in New Jersey and elsewhere with video of what appears to be drones flying in the sky, but the drones are thousands of feet high, but they're supposedly the size of Volkswagen Beetles, but they're blinking lights. Something's wrong. That ain't me getting on my phone and going to my little DJI Mavic Air 2 and, and navigating this thing up there. That's not what's going on. And what's interesting is at first the FBI said, if you've seen this, please let us know right away. And then suddenly they're saying, oh, there's nothing to worry about. Why'd you guys change your tune? There's a psych ops operation, psychological operation being used against us at this time with a device that's moving incredibly slowly because our minds and our ability to create and change the world is moving so incredibly fast. I'm looking here at Heather, at Anthropogel, on Matthew, on Discarded Vet documentary, on Drew, on Tobias. You are creators. Everybody, if you're watching this, you aren't the creator. You aren't a creator. You are the creator. You are part of the massiveness of the creator of us all. What does this mean? It means not only do your thoughts become things, but your energy becomes your new reality. I love talking about simultaneous realities, different timelines, and how we can leap to a new timeline. This is that time where we're leaping and leaping and leaping. Where we go depends on what we focus, not with our conscious mind, but with our hearts and emotion, which is energy in motion. So the powers that be, or the powers that want to be at the deepest, darkest level, are trying to play us right now, to keep us in that state or fear, because we're having a spiritual awakening. Admit it, chances are things feel different to you. The energy feels different. You may have had an awakening experience. You may have had an experience that you don't want to tell anybody about, or was too weird, or that you stuffed back down because you don't know how to place it. Something where you felt everybody is all one. You had this dream that was so incredible. You had a near-death experience, whatever it may be. You hit a tree, and for just a moment, you were in pure bliss. We're all having these awakening experiences at this time because humanity is shifting. These are what I call the WTF moments, from which you can never go back. And as Frank says, they're trying to distract us from the greater WTF moment, which is humanity waking up, which is a spiritual shift, which is an ascendance, which is us going from this lower density of consciousness, think gravity, to a higher density of consciousness, think UFO. Dr. Stephen Greer has seen the technology that allows UFOs and UAPs to be controlled by your mind. We just had on Greg Braden, who will be, I think his show airs in a week or two. I believe it's a week or two. May actually be the second week of January. I have to confirm the date with you. Who is talking about transhumanism and how things are going to be embedded in our mind so that we can control computers and control things with our mind. Although he would say you don't need the chips to have that level of control. These spacecraft, not the drones, these spacecraft are controlled by consciousness, a higher dimension of thinking. That's where humanity is headed. My whole raison d'etre, reason for being, my whole beingness is to help wake you up to a higher level of consciousness, or to wake you up to the full energetic potential that's within you. You are the creator. You are an energetic being having an energetic experience in human form, and you are a projector of your reality. If I got in here tonight and I started doing the REM song, it's the end of the world as you know it, and I said, this bad thing's going to happen, that bad thing's going to happen, that bad thing's going to happen, I make it more likely. Not just me as a creator, but then you think it, and then you tell others, and they think it, and they think it, and they think it. We project and create our new reality, and we hop onto the timeline based on our projections. We jump into a new reality based on what we project, based on what we think, based on what we feel. If I instead say, you are the creator, you can create something greater, you can imagine that the psych ops operation fails, that nobody goes to a state of fear, that the truth is blown wide open, and all of a sudden it's safe for extraterrestrials to step forward without interfering with us because we're welcoming them from love with open arms, and they're no longer going to be shot down, and that's what's taking place, my friends. And we usher in a new golden age. Humanity, consciousness, rising to a higher level. That's not what they want. So they're testing us, they're poking us, they're prodding us to see what our response is, to keep us in a state of fear, to see how far we will go. That's why Dr. Stephen Greer has been talking about a false flag event for so long. That's why teachers for years have talked to us about ETs wanting to reach out to us. And in this case, they're not ETs. This is being done by the government or shadow government or deep corporate black ops, transnational. Even the conscious government does not know what's going on. But the spiritual teachers have it, from Jesus' time on forward. Actually, before that, we can go back to the ancient Vedas and you can see, you can go back to stone carvings and see UFOs and stone carvings from thousands, if not 100,000 years ago. ETs have been with us. ETs have been among us. Spacecraft written about, drawn about in the Vedas, the ancient Ayurvedic text. We are not alone. They want to help us on our spiritual awakening. And the more we wake up, the more we go into our power. The more we wake up, the more we go into our power, the more they have to fly drones around and things to try to scare us and to create a false flag event. But we're not going to buy it. I, state your name, am not going to buy the BS that they're going to feed us. I'm not going to buy the fear-based story. I was watching the congressional hearings tonight where they're going, we need more money for this weapon. We need more money for this other weapon. We don't have the weapons that can keep up with the technology we've seen. So we're going to need a lot of money, and we're going to need a lot of money fast. And you and I say, I don't buy it. I buy one technology. No, it's not L for lame on my forehead. It's, would we turn that around? I don't know which way you guys are seeing it. Love. We buy the technology of love. We can call it the technology of love, and we can call it technology of light. That is ultimately what we're talking about. That's the higher level game. You want to see humanity rise up? You want to see an age where, if you saw the beginning of the show, where Hannah Bear can have free energy, where we can roll back the destruction that we've done in this earth with technology that should have been outlawed over 100 years ago? It had a time and a place. We passed that time and a place. Why hasn't electricity been surpassed in over 100 years? Well, Tesla actually, and I'm not talking about Elon, but Tesla actually did it before it was taken away from him. We got stuck from corporate greed. We got stuck by power and control. We got stuck in an era whose time is long gone, and we can finally, once and for all, change it now. As they're doing this psychological ops operation on us, if we choose it, we get to choose it. So we don't buy into buying stuff to buy stuff. We don't choose to giving away our power just because we're placed in fear. We don't choose to put ourselves in a state of victimhood. Oh, it's these big bad people who are doing the drones. We're in big trouble. Please save me. Please protect me. It's bullshit. You are not a victim. You were never a victim. You will never be a victim. Shit can go down. You can be hit by the car or worse. But you're still, yeah, that's me. And that still doesn't make you a victim. You are the creator. You are part of the mightiest power of the universe. Cindy asked, who is running the drones if not the government? And that's who we're going to have, Dr. Stephen Greer. You can go to our last show where he talks all about this. Last show with Dr. Stephen Greer. But it's a transnational or multinational organization that has unlimited funding from our government and from other governments, and has reverse engineered the technology of alien craft, and is playing with very low-level technology to bring us up to speed with fear. But that's why you can say, well, the administration knows. The administration doesn't know all that's going on. Well, the new administration, they won't know all that's going on unless these things are being brought forward. And that's why we're having Dr. Stephen Greer on in a week and a half, because he has the defectors who are coming forward in the next few weeks with evidence that we are not alone. And guess what? Woohoo! Then we're welcoming in not just to the galactic community, to our true power. So this operation that's going on is an operation to hold onto power at all cost and to test us to see what they can get away with. So here's the dealio. On a physical plane, we get to watch this very, very closely. And certainly we get to call on our leaders to demand answers, but also demand amnesty for those who start to step forward and ask out of love for even more people to come and step forward. So this goes way outside the scope of my understanding. What I understand from Dr. Stephen Greer is that they're well-meaning, very intelligent individuals. They get out of school and they're recruited by what they think is the military or what they think is intelligence organization. And they're brought in and placed in a silo. And they're sworn to secrecy. And they don't know what this other person is doing. And they don't know what this other person is doing. And the next thing you know, they're working on top secret of top secret of top secret stuff that the people above them don't know anything about, that the people way above don't know anything about, that the government that we know of as the government doesn't know a thing about. Because they have unlimited funds and resources, and they're being kept in the dark by the powers, those powers that be. The powers of those psychops operations, the powers of this multinational organization. I'm not calling it a one world blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to call it. But you can actually legally see the documents. We have the link from our last show where you can go and read the documents from Dr. Stephen Greer. They're classified or declassified documents. They're out there in the public, though, that shows all the money that's being spent. But it's not our leaders as we know them. And so these kids get in these jobs and they start doing this work. And then someday they maybe realize, oh my God, what I'm doing is dangerous. What I'm doing could kill people. What I'm doing is really harmful and could create this war on Earth or create a war with extraterrestrial civilizations because we're reverse engineering their technology and shooting them out of the sky. I need to do something. And what they find out is if I go to do something, I'm going to be killed. If I do something, something bad's going to happen to my family. I can't say or do anything. Until now. Now Dr. Greer is getting an amnesty program put in place. Now Congress is slowly starting to do something about it. Now we can all choose to go to a place of love and help them to feel safe coming forward and believe they're going to be safe coming forward and beam that idea out into the ethos that if they come forward, they will be safe. And they can step forward into the light. And we can step forward as an energetic race having a human experience on a higher level. So now this all starts on the individual level. Certainly, we can make phone calls. I recommend it. Certainly, we can talk to everybody around it. I recommend it. Certainly, we can share this show or other shows like it or our last show with Dr. Stephen Greer and maybe Bear. If you can find the link, can you throw it all over this show so that people can go to where they can find the documents themselves? Thank you, Bear. That's our super moderator extraordinaire. On an individual basis, we get to start remembering who and what we are. First and foremost, we are not a victim. No matter your circumstances, no matter what happened, no matter who did what to you, whether that was rape, whether that was murder of a family member, whether that was stealing everything that you had, you are still not a victim unless you choose to be. And looking at these drones flying around in the sky, we are not a victim unless we choose to be. You see, so I have here, somebody was just mentioning, I saw a huge UFO, Marjorie, in 1994. I was part of a mass sighting, years before that over New York City as well. And actually, I think it was not Ted Cobb, it might have been Tom Brokaw, I don't even remember who was who, announced it on national news. Over 1 million people spotted these lights over New York City. What's flying around in the sky right now is screaming one thing and one thing only. And you know what that is? It's not just look at me. It's you are a victim, you are a victim, you are a victim. You don't know what's going on. You are a victim. Something scary is happening. You are a victim. Something scary is going to happen. You are a victim. We need to be saved. You are a victim. You need to do something. You are a victim. The hidden message of each and every drone, and the reason they're moving so slowly, is to keep you in a state of victimhood, no matter what. You ain't a victim. You couldn't be a victim no matter how much you tried. You are the creator. not the whole of the creator. We are each fractal elements, meaning repeating holographic elements, but we are all integrated as this part of oneness. We're all part of the tapestry of life, the tapestry of the energy of everything. You are the answer. You are the light. You are the love. You are a spark of that God essence. You are all of it. No matter what. But you are not a victim, and you don't play one on TV. But this is what they want you to believe. That's why they're moving slowly across the sky. Do you think that anything that has the technology to put up this many drones needs the lights to be flashing? You don't think they can drive around or fly around at night without their lights flashing? Hello? Do you think something came all the way across the galaxy or the universe and tried to copy our aircraft lights? Seriously. Do you think if there's a mothership, they're going to bring them out with lights blinking? What? They're moving slowly across the sky and planting seeds. Now, when I say they, whoever is moving these things across the sky is also controlling the media, is controlling the conversation. There's where I want to go. Planting seeds, planting conspiracies. More conspiracies out in the last few days, from what I understand, than ever. Because of these drones. Or because of who's controlling the drones. These seeds are being planted. These conspiracies are being planted. These crawlers are moving across the sky to get you and keep you into a state of victimhood from where you're controllable. You ain't controllable. You ain't controllable even by me. I would never want to do that. You ain't controllable by a spouse, by a partner, by anything. The only one that controls you. And I want you to start really getting an understanding of this, no matter your situation. There's a reason that Mandela went from jail to running a country. There's a reason the Dalai Lama went from escaping the Chinese to having such incredible influence. And on these stories go. Because the only one that controls you is you, and not you here, but you here at your energetic center. Do you realize that you broadcast with your heart? It's called heart coherence. It's this field of energy that's broadcasting from your heart. Do you realize that when you get in sync with other people, it goes from being heart coherence to global coherence? A resonant frequency of all of us together is one. That's testable. Heart math has pioneered that. That is absolutely testable. The measurement of this, of global coherence, went off the charts at the time of 9/11 because everybody was thinking the same thing at the same time, or was aghast at the same time. And we all got into coherence. Right now, we have an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the opportunity to go into a state of the greatest fear and have a coherence, a global coherence of I give my power away and go to a state of victimhood. Because there's a lot more coming. Or there's a lot more coming. Woohoo! Bring it on, kind, gentle, easy, good. And we go to a state of global coherence, of love, of oneness, of togetherness, of grandness, of greatness, of discovering who and what you are. You are an energetic being, a divine, eternal, immortal one at that. And this ain't your first time at the rodeo. This may be the first time at the rodeo with the drones coming across the sky, with this technology in our hands, with the ability not just to blow each other up, but the hidden technology to travel across the galaxies and beyond. So you are uncontrollable by these ops once you remember and realize who you truly are. You're the creator and the creator of your reality. Now, I'll be doing a lot of shows and a lot of writing coming up on creating your reality. This is kind of where I'm bending things. What's that, a movie called Bend It Like Beckham? I'm doing a lot of bending things coming into January and coming into the new year because I feel a personal responsibility to help with my teachings, to help us bend through this time period, to shift realities, to leap timelines. They're trying to get us to leap timelines backwards. I want to help leap us timelines forwards. That's what I'm passionate about. Maybe you are too. This is your time. This is all of our time. This is our time, not just to shine, but to recognize the great creator that you are. You are a creator, a fractal holographic representation of the whole, a greater creator of your reality. What you think, what you feel is what you project up into the heavens. What you think and what you feel is what you project out into the universe. Now, it's interesting. We're 3-4 days away from a portal event. Oh, goody. There are never coincidences in life. There are always synchronicities, and they're always coming from the greater universe at large, or their greater mind. We can call it mind with an M, meaning the greater understanding of the world that's taking place. Solstice is always an opportunity to plant energy and see it come to fruition. Why? Solstice is when this giant, we're going to take it as swinging a ball, swings from one side all the way down through the bottom, goes up to the other side, and hits a 0 point where it seems stationary for the moment, sort of like a roller coaster right before it pitches down, or another amusement park ride where you think you're going to be catapulted out to the universe. You've just been shot out to the heavens before it starts to swing the other way. This swinging motion, if you put your ideas out there at the top, the energy of the earth will literally carry your ideas and your energy to fruition. What a powerful time we are at. And if we focus on this being a massive awakening experience where we recognize our place in the galactic community, where we recognize these technologies, where we send such love to everybody who's willing to step forward, that the whole thing collapses in on itself, and suddenly we do have free energy, the ability to feed everybody, the ability to roll back the damage on the planet, to heal the planet, maybe even to bring back creatures that have long since passed. I wonder. I think it's possible. I know it's possible. We can plant those ideas at this time of the solstice, which is the time of greatest darkness in the northern hemisphere, which is actually the time of greatest light because of contrasts. Of course, the powers that be that know this too, and they know this is a hugely powerful time. They know that this is a portal moment. What does a portal moment mean? It means you peer through into a new reality. They want your reality to be one of greater control. Control of the masses, control of the planet, control of the dialogue, control of the weapons, control of the money, control of the food. We can look through that portal and say this is the time of a lack of control, not chaos. Meaning this is a time where every individual takes back his or her power, or their power. This is a time where we take back all of it. This is a time where we control the dialogue. This is a time where we raise up to a higher level. And so we especially do not let them control us at this time. We see that the gig is up, the jig is up. And there's another portal event coming up, more of a man-made one, but just as important. And that's New Year's. Why is that so important? Because we've all placed our energetic significance on it. It's why a mantra is so powerful. A mantra isn't powerful just because you said it, or a chant isn't powerful just because you said it. But because thousands and thousands of people, really probably millions and millions, have said it for eons gone by. And so it has been imprinted and impressed with an incredible amount of energy, which New Year's Day has, and New Year's Eve. Imprinted and impressed with an incredible amount of energy. The energy of new possibilities, the energy of new hope, the energy of new beginnings. What a powerful opportunity for mankind to awaken, humankind, all of us to awaken at the highest level. That's what the zeitgeist, the collective consciousness, is craving right now. And we know there's something more waiting for us. We know we're not our physical bodies. We know we're energetic. We know this isn't our only time at the rodeo, that this is our only lifetime at this point. Heck, dare I say, we know we're not original sin. We are so much greater. And I'm not picking on anyone, anything, or any religion. And I am guessing for sure the great spiritual masters would back me up on this one. All the power that they had, you have, and more, once you begin to recognize it. And the powers that be and those with the remote controls that are flying around these drones up above want to shut it down fast before we get to the solstice portal, which right now is more powerful than ever because we each have the supercomputer, because we're so interconnected, because things are moving faster and faster, and shut it down faster than ever with New Year's Day coming up as well, and with a new administration coming up. New administration, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, is all about possible change. They want to shut it down before change takes place. This ain't political. I ain't political. I love you no matter what. Whether you're a red, whether you're a blue, whether you're a zebra, it don't matter. Whether you're a human, whether you're an energetic being, we're all energetic beings. This isn't political. Great change is coming, and they want to shut it down before that change takes place. But we can get back in our power. This is a time of greatest hope. This is a time of greatest light. You can look at those drones in the sky and go, woohoo! This is part of the awakening experience. Of course, the deepest, darkest levels don't want that, and they will try to shut you down. And it's weird on so many levels. The FBI saying, we need your help, and then going, there's nothing to worry about. All of these different levels coming together as one to keep people in power or to keep us out of power. At the same time, those different levels mean those that are even saying we have things under control are still in the dark. But let's take it. There's only a few last points here, then I'll open up to some questions. I'll see how long my notes go. Actually, we've got more than a few points to cover. I channeled this morning. And I go in and I talk to Spirit, I talk to Source, whatever we want to call it. I use a process called automatic writing. And so I never know exactly how many points. I didn't get to go through my notes in completeness before going on air here tonight because I was trying to take in all of the information that I could. Here's the dealio. Going to a much deeper, darker level. That which serves the darkness only and always brings us into the light. That which serves the darkness only and always brings us further into the light. If we choose it. If we choose it. If you've been getting, I know a lot of people have been getting 111 and 444 lately. These are the angel numbers. They come from our higher self, our intuition, from the universe at large, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. These are numbers that help wake us up. But if you've been getting 222 lately, I keep getting 222. Why? Why am I wearing a 22? That's the number of discernment. It's the number of big decisions, that there is a decision to make. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go dark? Do I go light? Thank you, Maria. or thank you. Anyway, there's some people who are saying thank you. So thank you right back. The discernment we get to make right now is choosing to see that the darkness only brings us further into the light. That's what this time period is all about. Remembering and realizing that you are a laser beam. They're talking about laser beams. There could be laser beams from the drone shooting down people. Guys, do you really think somebody's going to come across, galaxies going to come across a whole universe, and their only tech that they're going to bring is a low-tech drone that beams away one person at a time? Really? I don't think so. I'm sure they could have an energetic weapon, a thought weapon, or whatever they had, and we'd just be gone if they wanted this planet. But they don't. They want us to live, thrive, and survive at the highest level. Going back to laser beam, I want you to remember and realize that you are a laser beam of pure goodness, that you have the power within you, and I'm calling it laser beam for a reason. You have the power within you with the targeted thoughts and emotions, energy and motion, emotion. You have a laser beam in you with targeted thoughts and emotions to create the very thing you desire or something even better. And to realize that if you focus on what's possible and focus on where humanity can go and focus on what you do want, brotherhood, sisterhood, humanhood of all women, of all men, of all peoples, of all creeds, of all colors, of all beliefs, of all everything. In essence, if you focus on humanity coming together all as one, rather than being scared or bullied into more weapons, more fears, and more wars, and they're trying to create a space war here, make no mistake about it. And since those who would have to protect themselves have a lot more power than we do, we don't want that. They don't want to hurt us. We want to love them up so they can love us up even more. If we focus on that love and laser beam that out, that is exactly what we shall have, or something even better. And so it's a very important job we get to do right now, a very important spiritual job, a very, very high or spiritual level, dare I say. We get to focus on the very thing we want, on the outcome we want, not just of the drones, not the outcome of just the drones. Put that in quotes because, of course, any organization that has the power to do something that dark and nefarious has the ability to use more than drones against us. They probably have something far more technology. But we get to think above and beyond an outcome having to do with the drones, but an outcome of what we want at the highest level for all of humanity. So we get to focus on coming together as one, focus on what we want for humanity, and what we want for humanity fast. I'm not only the kind, gentle, easy, good guy, meaning I'm always asking for the teachings to come from the universe in the kindest, gentlest, easiest fashion possible. But I recognize but I'm the guy who likes, dare I say, and I am a racer. I love to race, whether that's bicycles, whether that's running, whether that's triathlons. I love that stuff. Or whether that's just me on a course, a running course, a riding course, a swimming course. I love to see what I can do. But when it comes to the race of life, I like to move slowly. My team can probably attest to this. I don't move very fast. I don't change very fast. This next 4 years, it's going to move at hyperspeed, and it's going to move even faster than that. And the craziness will not stop. I get far wackier, far wilder, beginning in January. I've seen this coming. There's a reason that when I got the channeling from Archangel Michael this past month, and we can call it simply from our inner wisdom, when I got this channeling, they said, December is a month to breathe. Read between the lines. Things are going to start to move in hyperspeed in January. It can be right out of a sci-fi movie in January, for better or for worse. So we can choose that when this happens at the speed of light, we can choose for the fast change to be a positive change. Wouldn't you like that? If all of a sudden we did have a little box in our room that gave us all the free energy we wanted. If we did have a device like in Star Trek, and we can press a button like on your microwave, and all of a sudden it can create out of thin air the food or whatever you need to sustain you. Oh my God, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we could zip around like the Jetsons, needing no fuel in the process? It all depends on what we choose right now. So you can see the things in the sky and choose fear. You can watch social media and you can choose fear. You can choose victimhood. Or you can see what's going on and you can say, aha, 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 aha. I got your number. I got your number. Yeah, I'm a goofball who can be very serious. I've got your number. You ain't doing this to me. You ain't taking my power away. You aren't taking my goofball nature away. You aren't taking my creative nature away. Flying cars would be cool, Beverly. You're not psychopsing us. You're not disempowering us. And you're not going to put us into a state of victimhood. But I'm going to take back instead, thank you, I'm going to take back my power now. I'm going to focus on my power. I'm going to focus on bringing this goodness about. I'm going to focus on bringing all the injustices being done against us, purported against us, bring them into the light. I'm going to see things popping for the good. I'm going to see things coming into the light. I'm going to see a stand down of the troops. I see an end to the wars. Who among us actually wants war right now? Raise your hand to yourself. Wait, nobody? You don't actually want war? No? You don't want war? And you don't want war? And you don't? Wait a second. All governments since the beginning of time or everybody we've had the choice of voting for, so far anyway, we'll see with the current administration, seems to have supported war, but you don't want war. You don't want to kill anybody? No? You don't want to go invade a country and do whatever is done in war? No? No? Really? Oh, it doesn't have to be that way anymore then. You can choose a new narrative. You can choose a new outcome. come. Oh, you say, well, they'll take all of our jobs or they'll take all of this. Well, does it have to be that way? No. Do you think maybe we have the technology to feed everybody on the planet? Yeah, maybe. Do you think if we stopped putting the billions and trillions into the war machine, there would be enough money to put clothes on everybody's back? Huh? Yeah, maybe. Or to build the infrastructure for everybody and not destroy the planet? Oh, maybe. If we choose that, we can have heaven here on earth. We've got the technology. Forget about the free energy. We already have the technology. We already have the means. We already have the inner technology. That's what this is we're talking about. It's an outer technology versus inner technology. Outer technology, save me. Look at the drones. Be afraid. The inner technology, I have the power within me. We all have the power within us. We can come together. Global coherence. Come together in love. Come together in oneness. Come together in unity. And we can create that new reality. We get to see and know, I am the creator that I am, and I have the power to make it so. And so it is. I have the power to create my reality, and I have the power to make it so. Say that. I have the power to create my own reality, and I have the power to make it so. Yeah. And I see us coming together as one. I see us coming together as one. I see us coming together as one. And it will be so. Just saying this leap timelines. Just saying this helps us shift the inner and outer narrative, because you go from victimhood, save me, to empowerment. I can already see the Jim Carrey movie. You've got the power, I've got the power. Empowerment, I've got the power, and we don't need saving. When you do that and when you choose that, that's the 222. Beautiful, powerful possibilities can come out of this time, even as they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes, even as they're trying to disempower us, even as they're trying to distract us from the real truth, which is our greatness. And yes, watch beyond the skies. Watch for the greater sleight or the cosmic sleight of hand. A sleight of hand is the magician has you watching this shiny ball over here while something is going on over there. Like the defectors coming forward. We're not going to look at the defectors because we're going to make it a war of the worlds in the sky starting in New Jersey. It doesn't have to be that way. Watch for the sleight of hand and see what's really going on. For at the end of the day, what they're trying to distract you from is you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're incredible. You're the greatest. I ain't just saying that. No, got the power. Beverly's asking who's got the power, who sings the song, I've got the power. That's what you are. Your real you, your true you, your infinite, divine, immortal, incredible, energetic self is so much greater than we can ever imagine. And the reason I say than I can imagine is because even our imagination is based in a 3-dimensional, maybe a 5-dimensional world. We can't imagine a world without dimensions. You go to the other side, you have a near-death experience, or you have a glimpse of a near-death experience, or you have an awakening experience. And you have this glimpse of multidimensionality, and then you're squeezed back into this physical body. But you can never come up with the words to fully describe that. But you can remember this is who and what I am. And at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to distract you from. The real power, the real you, the multidimensional you, the infinite immortal you. And if instead you get this, you really get this, you look at the drones, you look at the heavens, or you look at the people hearing, like in New York City, whether that's real or a psych ops piece of it, that people are hearing a giant hum of a mothership. And my guess is how do I put this? Hum takes energy to make noise. And if these vehicles have truly traveled across the galaxies in interstellar train, my guess is they don't actually need to make noise because that'd be a waste of energy. But maybe you are hearing the hum. Even if you're hearing the hum, even if you're seeing whatever you're seeing in the sky, Realize this is here to help you flip the light switch on to your divinity, to all of humanity's divinity, to our truest, greatest power, to something unstoppable, something greater, something based wholly, unstoppably, and completely, all as one out of love. Yeah, the Beatles got it right. All we need is love. That's where we're at right now. Love, disclosure, choosing a new outcome, and then even more love. Yeah, Ramona. Don't be distracted from your own light. Absolutely. Don't be distracted from your own light. But Michael, I need to do something. Focus on what you do want. Michael, I need to do something. Call somebody, call anybody, get on the same page, or call somebody in government and say there's another answer. You're being distracted from the real truth, because even they don't know what's going on. But first, imprint and impress it on your heart. And remember at the highest level who and what you are. Yes, you are the creator. You are the divine. You are immortal. You are a projector. And you are pure magic. Woohoo! And how does it get any better than that? And the last line I have in my notes here, I can't believe I'm going to say this word for a word. And now that to me, especially as they're trying to pull this psych ops boop boop on us, is a mighty, mighty woohoo. Woohoo! All right, let's get to some questions here. I'm going to take a sip of water. We will do a very brief meditation at the end. I am going to try to wrap this up by the top of the hour and then smolder, smolder for a little while, because this has kept me up for days since Sunday. I think it was Sunday that the topic, no, Saturday night that they started knocking on my door, Spirit, saying, this is what you're going to have to do. And I'm going, no, you got the wrong guy. And they're like, no, we got the right guy. You're going to have to do this. And I think I've been smoldering since then. So I'm going to get some sleep here in a little bit. Kind, gentle, easy, good. All right. Oh, it's interesting. Somebody just said they're going to look up the etymology of divinity now. I think it was Greg Braden's latest book. It is Greg Braden's latest book. He actually broke down the etymology of the divinity, etymology of the word divine or divinity, and a powerful word at that. All right. From Donna Ewing. Hold on. What do we say? Donna says, what do we say to someone who thinks this is a real invasion, or do we just stay quiet? Donna, I don't think we need to stay quiet anymore. We don't need to. Force is not the answer to anything. Love is always the answer. If they're open for a discussion, discuss what you feel, discuss what you hear, discuss what's on your heart, discuss what you feel is possible, discuss a link to this show or to the many other shows that are talking about the same thing right now. I am the vehicle that caught your attention tonight, but there are many other vehicles sharing the same message. So, but what we do not want to do is this against anyone, because what you push up against will never hear you. So you listen to them, you acknowledge them, you see them, see their worries, their fears, their concerns. And then if they're open, then you share with them. But we do not try to force our idea on them. Remembering, of course, this 10 to 1. The energy of the light is 10 times more powerful, probably an infinitude times more than that. 10 times more powerful than darkness, which is fear. So you going, boo, not trying to push it on them. Please don't do that. But just being you, and they're going, brr, 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 starts to bring them up and open them up to new possibilities, especially at this time. From Diana, what can we do from an energetic point of view? What steps can we do to change the timeline attempting to meddle with the real ET's arrival? Diana, it's very, very simple. Forgive me. I want to say sit and drool. What do you mean sit and drool, Michael? I want you to go quiet, close your eyes, and focus on what you do want. Michael, I'm not good at going quiet. Write about what you do want. Draw something about what you do want. Sing something about what you do want. Go for a run and think about what you do want. Shout to the heavens what you do want. All of these things put out an energetic message to the universe. We each have our own unique vehicle or vessel that we do it best with. It can be a creative outlet. It can be a spiritual, meditative outlet, which is everything spiritual because we're energetic beings. But whatever works for you, Diana. So the most important step is to visualize something else. Visualize another outcome. Visualize a greater outcome. Oh my God, it's so cool that the drones are coming forward, whatever they may be. The drones are coming forward right now so that we will finally get to the other side of being told that we're alone. So we finally get to the other side of being told that there's no life outside of Earth. To get to the other side of, well, look at whatever is going on in the bigger picture. There must be some other energy source so that we can stop being told that we have to burn coal or do this or do that or whatever to have electricity. Oh my God, this is so cool right now. Play with that on your heart, Diana, whatever narrative works for you. And from an energetic point of view, which actually creates the physical, you are creating it, Diana. Sierra, so what are the drones? My guess is it is dark ops being done out of fear. Are they drones? Yeah. Are they a lower level technology? Yeah. Are they capable of something more nefarious? They're drones. I really don't know. But they're just remote control vehicles up there to scare the poo-poo out of us, is what they are, and to control the narrative. And it ain't being controlled by ETs. It's being controlled by us. Not you and me necessarily. Or maybe if you're watching this and you are in control of them, then I send you love and let's stop flying these things. But it's being done by us until we choose something different. Andrea, this change can be scary or exciting. Any advice on how to transmute this to hope and excitement? Just what I'm doing. Be the creator, Andrea. Imagine, okay. And key point. Can I use the word stop? All right. This is a very important time to stop watching the invasion movies. Stop watching the dystopian movies. Stop watching the sci-fi movies where everybody gets the crap blown out of them. Why? Those were planted there to keep us in a state of fear. No, the Hollywood actors didn't all realize they're being plants. But at the end of the day, collective consciousness, or the powers that be more specifically, planted them there so that we would bring it about or to keep us in a state of fear and control. Start playing a new narrative. Start playing a new movie. Look for higher level movies. Look for positive movies. There are very few positive sci-fi movies out there, but they do exist. Look for the more positive narrative. Create it yourself. Write it yourself. Dream it yourself. Live it in your mind's eye yourself. The transmutation is taking that energy. I see this, oh my God. I can go to my phone and go to look at my cousin's text again and see this little thing going through the sky. And I can go, oh my God. Or I can go, woohoo, change is coming. This is going to be awesome. I just transmuted it.
Yeah, it sounds like a helicopter.
Oh my God, oh my God. Woohoo! Something great is going to come out of it. Something great is going to come out of it. And I have done just that. Completely transmuted it. It wasn't fancy. It doesn't need fancy. In fact, the greatest tech in the world appears to be the lowest tech. It's reliable. It works. Surely, why this possible conspiracy theory and not any of the main other conspiracy theories? Why this one? I'm not fully understanding the question, Shirley. I'm not a conspiracy theory kind of guy. It's interesting. I've seen UFOs. I've had interesting experiences myself on a personal level. So I'm like, well, there's a knowing here. There's no conspiracy going on. And the drones are there. We don't have to have a conspiracy. We can see them. We can go to our phones and watch the videos of them. Yeah, but couldn't they have just been made by thousands of people? Yeah, okay, we have the technology, yes. And we could probably have a huge number of people making their own fake videos. But that probably takes a little bit of work. So why am I gravitating toward this? Because to me, this is the change maker. To me, this is stepping back into our power. To me, above and beyond anything else, recognizing that we are not alone in the universe and that there is a much greater technology that's at our fingertips, that's at our disposal, changes the power structure of everything, changes the evolution of humanity, the evolution of consciousness, you could say. This is where the game is going on. This is where the party's at. So I look at this and I don't see conspiracy theory. Now, yes, there are all sorts of theories being thrown around right now. I heard one, drone crashed and they found out that Elon Musk had created it and the blah, 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 blah. I'm not perpetuating that, and people are going to start Googling it right now. There are so many crazy conspiracies going around. Some of them could be real. Who knows? But the most important one is the one that we plant with our hearts, the one that we project out there of what we want to see come out of this. And there is no greater opportunity to me than something great coming out of anything than what's going on right now and the possibility of us being welcomed, realizing who we are, realizing that there are extraterrestrials around, realizing that there's a greater technology, realizing that there is free energy, realizing that we're being welcomed into a galactic family if we choose it, realizing all of this goodness. And at the same time, realizing that we really get to focus on it this time, or it could be taken away from us. Not out of fear, but this is where the party's at if we choose it, and we get to choose it now. Heather Paz, is the key to being okay? Is the key to be okay not knowing until we have more information than we can personally evaluate or discern? Heather, we can discern in our hearts right now what we want. We can discern in our hearts what we desire. What's interesting to me when I play, I don't typically talk about myself as a law of attraction guy. And certainly I have my own blind spots. I have my own weaknesses, shall we say. My team will let you in on that. But I am able to manifest at a very high level. But I don't use the term law of attraction. And the reason that I don't do that is it requires you to say, I want this step, and I want this piece, and I want that piece, and I want the other piece. And oftentimes, even though I can hear Bob Proctor saying you get across the country and you don't know the next mile that's coming before you, but we often get wrapped up in the details. And any of the manifestation work that I do, that I teach, I hear, the details are none of our damn business. The details are none of our damn business. Which means how the game starts to unfold, we don't have to worry about. We get to focus on what the biggest picture is, or the biggest, greatest outcome that we desire. Now, let's be honest. This is a very interesting movie. And you don't judge what's coming in the movie until it's there. So in that sense, you can wait till more information comes. Discernment at this time, to me, means bring it to the light. With everything you have, bring it to the light, bring it to the light, bring it to the light. Funkman, I don't know anything about orbs specifically related to this, but I will say this. Whether you look at a Lockheed Martin Skunk Works projects, and this has been documented by Dr. Stephen Greer and many others, and certainly there's the documentary you can watch, Battleground of... oh my gosh. Begins with a C. Oh my gosh, my words are escaping me right now. Go back to my notes. Battleground for Disclosure. Not a C, but a D. Let me get back to the question here. Oh, where did the question go? Hold on here. Orbs. Okay. There are UFOs or UAPs that are off planet, meaning came from extraterrestrial civilizations. But many of these vehicles have been shot down since the 40s and perhaps even before, and they've been re-engineered, and there are the documents and the photos to prove it. On my last interview I did with Dr. Stephen Greer, he gave the link so that people can look at those documents and see them for themselves. The people who are coming forward, the defectors who are coming forward, have been part of those programs and maybe the ones who have reverse engineered them themselves. So when you're seeing things in the sky, chances are, I'm told, 99 out of 100 times, it's us. Not the orbs that you see in your room floating around, not the little, flashes of purple or flashes of blue that you see there, but those things dancing across the sky, more often than not, are us, or us in a psychops operation against us, or testing things against us. Not all of them. And Dr. Stephen Greer, and I'm not trying to be like a god to Dr. Stephen Greer. Oh my God, the man has done some amazing good for this planet, in my opinion. But you can certainly do things like CE5, and there you call in extraterrestrials and you'll see orbs. Those are real orbs. rather than being planetary. Those are interplanetary ones. We do have the technology to have planetary ones and pretend that it's coming from somewhere else as part of the psyops. And I think we're going to be seeing more and more of that coming up, more and more of what appear to be alien or ET or off-planet vehicles to scare us into thinking there's an invasion. If we start to go down that road, if and only if we choose to go down that road. Are you doing am I doing on Martha Williams? Am I doing on winter solstice? I touched on it very, very briefly, Martha, on the portal that's opening up at this time, on how powerful it is to put out our ideas at this time. But that's probably the most I'm going to go to it. I'm not sure what this next Sunday show will be. I'm going to feel that out in meditation over the next day or two. It could be that would actually be on the 22nd, right at the tail end of solstice. It could be on that. It may be about something else entirely. Stay tuned. From Maura. For the last 2 days, my energy is off and I can't meditate at all, which is messing with my automatic writing. Automatic writing is a process that I teach for you to be able to channel or hear from the other side, hear from your higher self, higher team, whatever you want to call it. Any suggestions on how to get back on track? I also can't do my Silva method. Maura, I would relax into it. I would try to get more sleep. I would try to ground. I would go to the breath, and I would not worry about it, but I would observe it. I believe the energy of everybody is particularly weird right now. There's been an energy of exhaustion. There's been an energy of overwhelm. There's an energy of, I can't even sleep. I'm so tired. That seems to be the collective consciousness right now. What we do is surf the wave rather than judge the wave. Go, okay, my automatic writing is taking a hit right now. That's okay. Okay, well, if you had seen me earlier today, I was I did an amazing I love him dearly. Christian Sundberg did an amazing job on my show earlier today, who is an amazing author and speaker on pre-birth experiences. And before my interview, I was walking around going, I'm so tired. And I went for a run later in the afternoon, and I think it was my slowest run I had in years. I am so tired. I didn't judge it. I said, all right, sometimes I do a 6-minute mile. Sometimes I do a 20-minute mile or a 16-minute mile. It's all good. That's where I want you to be right now, Maura, without judgment, and yes, Bonnie's going full moon. Oh, full moon in spades. You've got full moon. You've got solstice. You've got nefarious powers that be. You've got a collective consciousness that's got the jitters right now. You've got wars. You've got so much going on. And so the consciousness right now is a little bit on edge. We don't judge it, and at the same time, we do what we can to bring it back. Imagine a great night's sleep. Imagine getting to bed earlier. Imagine the most perfect, blissful, quiet slumber. All right, I'm going to take 1 or 2 more questions. We are going to blast past top of the hour if I go past that. All right, we've got from my team one last question, actually. From Megan Vandermast. Let's help with your confusion if I can. Would like to ask, so we just need to be love and light to keep the energy high vibe, but say the drones are up to no good, we just keep up the high vibe, and we keep up the high vibe, Megan. We imagine a brighter outcome, Megan. And when the powers that be say, we need more money to fight XYZ, we say no, or we pick up the phone and say no. When the powers that be start putting out on social media these fear-based stories, we don't share them. Instead, we share love-based stories. When the narrative goes to anything dark, we choose to stay in the light, or we choose to take action in the light. Please note, I said last night I went to a town hall meeting. I am not saying hide under the bed or hide under the carpet or be in a cave going, I will just change everything from here, and I will not take action out here. If you feel called to action, Megan, you pick this sucker up, you do this, you do anything it takes from a place of love, not a place of against anything, but a place of embracing all. And you do what calls on your heart. And certainly, if this starts going toward that darker side, I will be doing the same right along with you. We send love to whoever is going to come forward. We imagine that anybody who's going to come forward, we imagine, we could do it right now, putting them in a bubble of love and light for safety and helping them bring what was hidden in the darkness out to the light. This can actually be quite powerful, especially at this time, Megan. So yes, it is an inside job, but it is also quite okay to work on the outside as well. It all matters. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water. Then and I said all my love, Megan. I'm going to take a sip of water, and then we are going to go into a really brief meditation here. And look at that. We blasted past the 777 thumbs up comments. How does it get any better than this? I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. You know why? Because you're an ambassador of love. You are an ambassador of light. You are an ambassador of pure goodness. And as those little guys do whatever they're going to do up there, and those little guys are us. What do I mean by that? Is humanity is all one. You're bringing the love. You're staying in the love. You're being the love. And how does it get any better than this? All right. I just did a muscle test. I was checking and I was like, can I do a clearing on people tonight? And I was told, no, you're doing the clearing tomorrow night in the School of Mystics to clear away fear. If you're a School of Mystics member, tomorrow night we're doing a clearing to help you clear away fear. If you're not doing a School of Mystics member, come and join me tomorrow night. Very affordable to join, and 4 Wednesdays each month live or recorded. And we're going to be doing a massive clearing tomorrow night to clear away fear, to clear away the fear that has been stuck to us, gunked to us, all of this energy that it's attached to us right now. We're going to clear it so that you can be in the light as we step forward into this portal that's coming up and into this new year that is coming up, into the new birth of all of humanity that is coming up. All right, where are we going to go with this meditation? I'm going to close my eyes and see where we're going. Okay, a meditation I totally didn't expect us to do. Even better, even more perfect. When I do that, what I do is I close my eyes and they give me a visual of where I'm going. And I was very, 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 very surprised by this visual. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to join me in closing your eyes. Close your eyes. Pitter-patter your feet on the floor, the carpet. Wiggle or waggle your tail. In the seat. Kind of squirm around a bit. Get out all those wiggles and giggles. You're going to get your giggles back. And now I'd like you can relax in there. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. Now, as you keep on breathing in and out through the nose, which triggers a rest and relax response, we're going to all come together with the power of one, the power of group consciousness, the power of intention. So we're going to imagine that we're all in the same room together. In fact, we're forming the greatest giant circle, giantest circle ever. We're going to reach out and take hands with somebody who's watching this past, future, or present to our right. We're going to reach out with our left hand and take hold of somebody with our left hand who's watching this past, future, or present. We're going to breathe in together as one and out together as one. In and out. In and out. Here's where things start to get interesting as we keep on breathing in and out together as one. First, we imagine we're in a giant circle on the most amazing beach. It's so peaceful. You can hear the gentle licking of the waves on the shore. It's dark. You can see the sparkle of the stars twinkling above you. You can feel the sand beneath your feet. Air is a perfect temperature. You smell just a little bit of salt on your nose. And you look up, way up into the heavens, and you can see the Milky Way. And suddenly, you see drones. You're going, well, wait a second. I'm on like a tropical beach, and I'm seeing drones. You see one drone. You see another drone. You see a whole bunch of drones. But you don't go to a fear-based place. You remember this is exactly what we do want. We want to see these drones. We want to know that we're energetic. We want to know that something special is happening. And you start to send the drones love. You see the drone, you say, I send love. You see the drone, you tap on your heart and you go, I send love. I send love. I send love. And all of a sudden, as you're doing this, as you're tapping, you're watching everybody in the circle. You're still connected in a circle, even though you're tapping on your chest. You see the entire circle of everybody here, past, future, and present, start to lift up off of the beach. We're kind of like dangling in the air. And we start to go up higher and higher and higher still. It's as if every time we send, we're not afraid, we're having fun. This is wild, I'm floating. Every time you say, I send love, or every time you tap in your chest and say, I send love, I send love, I send love, you see yourself going up higher and higher and higher still until you're almost at the height of the drones. It feels like you could reach out and touch them, except all you can see is their blinky lights and hear them buzz because it's dark. But all of a sudden you are floating up past the drones. Ooh, goody. Here's where things get real interesting. You're up past the drones. Things start to get really, really quiet. And you look down. First, of course, you see the drones. I'd say zipping around, but they're moving kind of slow. But you can look past it and you see the glow of Earth. You see the twinkle of the cities, the connection of all the lines between the cities. You see the forest, you see the darkness. In fact, you can see around almost to the other side of the earth, and you can see that difference between night and day, and you can see where is glowing crimson blue and puffy white clouds. And you see this most amazing earth beneath you. And you find yourself rising up higher and higher still, until all of a sudden you're in a place of perfect serenity, perfect peace, and perfect silence. You go, am I in heaven? No, I don't think I died. Am I on another planet? No, I seem to be floating in space. Am I alone? No, everybody's here with me. Oh, wait a second. It's interesting. I see walls around me, but I can see through them. I see kind of this translucent material, but I can see through it. Oh my God, I'm on a spacecraft. No, I'm not afraid. This is interesting. This is kind of cool. This spacecraft feels like home. This spacecraft feels good. This spacecraft feels like pure love. Well, nobody told me that. Nobody told me a spacecraft would feel like pure love. And you realize you can look through this translucency. You can look through this, we'll call it translucent metal. And not only can you see down to the drones, you can see down to Earth, but you realize this spacecraft has the most amazing ability. It's the ability to project love on anyone and anything around it. In other words, this is a spacecraft that can heal. This is a spacecraft that can cure. This is a spacecraft that could bring complete and total peace and harmony on Earth. And you go, oh, goody. And you think to yourself, well, how do I control this spacecraft? How do I control these beams of love? How do I control and send down pure goodness? And what you hear, and it comes straight into your head without words, through your thoughts, through your heart, through your feelings. You're saying through my thoughts, my heart, and my feelings that I can send love down to Earth. I can send healing down to Earth. I can send peace down to Earth. I could even send free energy down to Earth. Absolutely, dear one. All I need to do is think, feel, send. Yeah. And so what you start doing is you start beaming down love. You see it. You come see it. It's come out of the spacecraft. Visible up above, you know it gets invisible down below, but you can see this beautiful golden light. Heck, it's love. It could be a pink light that turns gold. Whatever works best for you. It's coming out of the spacecraft and it's going down to your friends and family. It's going down to your town. It's going down to your loved ones. And you see them begin to heal. And you go, oh, well, what can we really do this? Say, you know, I'd like to heal my whole town. You beam down that love. I'd like to heal my whole country. And you beam down that love. I'd like to heal everyone, everywhere. Ooh, goody. And you beam down that love. And you realize something up special here, up in the heavens, up in the spacecraft. And the spacecraft really is just simply your heart. For you are that spacecraft. You are the ETs. You are those who have traveled the galaxies, who have traveled the universe, who have traveled the multiverse. You realize that you have the power within you to change the world, to change people's hearts, to heal people's hearts, to heal everyone's heart. Especially those you don't agree with, especially those controlling the drones, especially those who are locked in or afraid to come out of the darkness and into the light. You realize you have the power to beam them love and change the world through your heart and through your intention. And so before we come out of this spacecraft, because you're still up here hovering high up above the heavens, I'd like you to take the next 30 seconds. You can keep tapping on your heart if you'd want. Look down at Earth. See those who you feel are in the greatest need. Maybe it's those who you feel have the greatest darkness, those who are stuck in a place of power, of fear, of control, of weaponry, of wars. Those starving, whomever it may be. And for the next 30 seconds, without judgment, send out all the love you can. Beginning now. I send love. I send love. I send love. If you find you're having a hard time sending love, just imagine bathing in this rose gold light. Tap in your heart and say, I send love, I send love, I send love. I send love, I send love, I send love. I send love, I send love. I send love. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. In. And one more time. In. Can you feel that love? Can you feel that peace? Can you feel that stillness? As you open your eyes and look around, you realize if you're not on that spacecraft, maybe you never were. Maybe you always are. But you are here right now. You are beaming love. You are sending love. You are sharing love. And you are pure love. Oh, goody. Remember this, and you will truly change the world, change your life, and change the lives of those around you. And how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Certainly do come join me if you'd like tomorrow night. We are going to clear away whatever fear you have left. We are going to help bring you up, up, and way, way, way up to the highest level. If you don't have the means, if you don't have the means, let us know. We'll get you into the class. Contact Aya Bear here or go to hello@inspirenationshow.com. Send an email. We'll get you in. We've also got a coupon code here, of course. If you want something free, sign up for my daily newsletter, dailywoohoo.com. I'll bring your energy up on a daily basis. And how does it get any better than this? Sharing story, sharing attunement, sharing metaphor, sharing humanness as we go through this energetic journey in human form together. And if you do want to learn how to channel or hear from the other side, which is what I do before each event like this and before every class, go to automaticwriting.com. automaticwriting.com. I've got all the links in the description down below. I've also got the links to Dr. Stephen Greer's Battle for Disclosure documentary. And he'll be on either the 27th or the 30th. And before that, we have some amazing, amazing guests coming up. And I am in such an interesting state right now that I actually have to look and see who is coming up on Thursday's show. Aya Bear will probably beat me to it, but I am going to look and see who are most amazing. Probably Megan Sisk. I believe it's Megan Sisk for this Thursday on how to become your own greatest channel. But let us take a look at that. This Thursday is, Awaken Your Psychic Abilities with Megan Sisk. And how does it get any better than this? So lots of love. I'm going to now put on the music from my award-winning sister, musical producer, singer, and so much more, creator extraordinaire, Ayla Ray, literal sister. And then I will see you guys coming up shortly. Maybe School of Mystics tomorrow, maybe in the Daily Woohoo, and if not, this coming Sunday. And I send all my love, all my love, all my love your way. And yes, may you have the sweetest, sweetest dreams. Lots of love. Thank you, Dream Team.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations.